Hello and welcome to SGN Tech Forum. In today's video, we are going to talk about one very simple protocol, but as holiday seasons are approaching, we all have planned to travel and all of a sudden you realize that there is something in your PC at home you want to access because not everything is in cloud personally, right? So how you can do that? So today we are going to talk about a simple solution called remote access for your desktop PCs and other things, right? So what is our problem statement? Statement is you realize that you require to access a PC on your vacation or travel. You want to access your office PC. So if you are a small business owner and you are at home, you want to access your office PC in VRs, right? Uh, Even if it is unattended, then what is the solution available for your disposal, right? And we will talk about not just the commercial aspect, the free and paid solution, but as what we do in SDN Tech Forum. In our demo, we will also do the packet capture and try to understand the protocol underneath, right? So the protocol is called VNC, Virtual Network Computing. Virtual Network Computing is not a protocol actually. The underlying protocol is Remote Frame Buffer Protocol. RFB is the actual protocol and VNC is the solution which run on top of that. Straight from Wikipedia, in computing, VNC is a graphical desktop sharing system that uses RFPP to remotely control another computer. It transmits the keyboard and mouse input from one computer to another, relaying the graphical screen updates over the network. Right. So you have one PC in remote location, probably unattended. You want to log into that PC, do all the operations as you are present in front of that PC. Right. So that's where the VNC protocol or feature comes handy. Right. What are the flavors of VNC or how it works? VNC is strictly a server client model from its inception. So on my left side, you can see there is a VNC server in the remote location, and on right side you have a VNC client. That means on remote server, you are going to install VNC server application. On your local desktop or local laptop, you are going to do install a VNC client. Mind it, it's not one to one. A lot of commercial available solutions which allow a VNC server to be accessed by multiple VNC client at the same time. But these are enhanced feature and probably available in paid version of the software. That's why it's multiple client may connect to the VNC server at the same time. Available option cards like commercially of the self applications, flavor by pricing. We have free because it's a open source licensing available as well. And then there are company which do the niche job like providing contact support and uh, adding a layer of security, which where you have to pay the price for in those uh, solutions. Then flavor by operating system, uh, to name a few, Real VNCs, TeamViewer, Tide VNC. So different companies, they provide you different binaries for your Windows, Macs, or Linux, right? So choose or download whatever is applicable to you. If at all you decide to go for a paid application, what do you need to look for, right? What extra features you're getting, obviously because you are paying a price for it. Make sure you get an unattended access. That means you can unlock the PC remotely. Uh, VNC natively is not encrypted, right? So the session is not really not encrypted, but a lot of companies now they give you end-to-end secure or encrypted communication. So make sure if you are paying, you get the encryption. Remote file transfer, that means you can do file transfer between the remote server and local client because that's why you want to access your PC, right? Also, VNC protocol is very chatty, so make sure that this VNC, what you're paying for, is capable of working in high computing environment. Like you want to operation perform some CPU or resource intensive operation, VNC should support that. Then again, multi-user, single user is just like one user can log into the server or multiple users can log in. Make sure you have multiple user if that is the case, and also the contact support. Okay, so these are in the paid application. Now let's go to the demo. So for demo, what I'm going to do, I have a remote server Windows machine, and we will pick any one of the COT solution, right? Since I don't encourage anyone to pay or for a software, or it's not a promotion. So ad hoc, I chose one market leader here, Real VNC, and what I have done, I have installed the VNC server in uh, application in one of the machine and make it as a VNC server, and on my local laptop I have VNC client running. So let's first look at the server configuration. As you can see, this is a Windows machine, so you have to go to Real VNC website and download the VNC Connect server application. Once you do that, you will have this application, and uh, it will by default show you all the IP addresses available on this PC, right? And then you have a couple of other options like technical support, about what is this about, let's check. This is a VNC server, real VNC server, and what I'm interested in is the option. Okay, it does give you the file transfer option also, so that's good. um, let's go to option. Yes, and here you can provide all the connectivity informations, right? So your connections by default, it runs on port number 5900. It's a good idea to change this port, because a lot of people, when do the malicious actor on internet, they always do the port scanning of well-known port, and by default VNC, all our VNC application run on 5900. So I encourage you to change this to enhance your security. Okay, so this is my VNC server actually listening. Now the next thing what I'm going to do, we are going to connect to the VNC uh, from the VNC client. So let me cancel it out, but before we cancel, let's go back again and look at the, see, this is always on, providing me authentic uh, unattended access as well. Let's cancel it out. Look at the IP address. This is the locally connected IP address, and if you are looking at that, you should know that this is a private IP address. That means if my server is running a private IP address, I can connect to that only locally, right? If in the LAN segment. But most of the time, that is not the use case, and that's what we will discuss next in our section. But let's first close this VNC connection, uh, close this remote desktop connection, and let me bring our VNC application. So right now I'm into this 192.168 subnet. This is my VNC client. So my client and server both are in the same subnet, and I'm trying to connect to it. Okay, if you want to see the properties, I'm going to connect to 136 where we have the VNC server installed, right? I'm going to say okay, connect. It is asking me for the password. Let's provide the password. And it's telling you that this is the IP address, this is the port, UDP port it's going to use, and the hash. As I say yes, voila, I'm connected to that server and I can do whatever I want on this application remotely. Okay, let's cancel it out because that's not our use case. If you want to connect it over the internet, then obviously the IP addresses between server and client doesn't match, right? So you need to use the public IP address. So what is the public IP address of this remote server? How I can find that? So to find your public IP address, you need to probably go to any browser and say, what is my IP? And that you can simply say if config, go if config. So this is the IP address of your environment, like of your LAN environment, public IP address of your LAN environment, right? This is the IP address. Behind that, you have your PC sitting, and that has a private IP address, right? That PC with that private IP address is listening on port number 5900. So, if you want to connect to that PC over the internet, ideally you should connect to from your VNC client. You should connect to this IP address, including that port number, right? And that's what we are going to do next. Okay. So I have this thing open here. Let's see. This is my public IP address and the port number. Let's try to connect this. Okay. Connection refuse. Connection refuse because that port is not open, right? So depend how your router is configured in your home. 5900 is not open by default, right? Only most of the router only allow port 80 or 443 just to secure your home or secure different application. But if you know that yes, I have a legitimate server sitting behind my uh, network and listening on this port, and you have a legit use case to connect to that over the internet, you can obviously go and change the router configuration. I have this Linksys home router, and different router have different capabilities, but uh, underlying is same. It is basically part of port forwarding, single port forwarding, or port range forwarding, right? Here you can see I have created a new forwarding range rule, and that says it's a the application name is arbitrary. You actually use yourself whatever you want to do. I have said VNC. I know the port it is using, the incoming port it is using is 5900. So start and end with that. Protocol TCP, UDP, both, because VNC can use either of that. And then the device IP address, like where it should redirect it. So that's my 136 is my server local address, and that's where we are going to redirect it. So let me cancel out of this rule, but I'm going to edit this, enable this, and apply. Okay. Let's go back to our VNC server and see if that can connect now. Okay. It is actually getting a response, and I'm saying give access. So I'm connected. You may have to allow few things on your local desktop. So for right now, I'm not going to do that. But you may say that I'm still in the same network, right? Though I connected using public IP address, but I'm still in the same network. So what I can do, I can pause the video, connect it to a VPN network so that I'm really on different network on my VNC client, which is just one additional layer of check to make sure to prove that it works, right? But I'm going to do that next. Before that, let's see what happened when VNC connects. And obviously, let's come to the packet walk. And packets don't lie, right? So here you can see I was in a different network initially. Look at the TCP. Source port is random, but destination port is 5900, right? And I was in a different network, say 173, and this is my home network where this server is sitting. So I sent a SYN, then that will got acknowledged, and now you can see the VNC data transfer started happening. Okay. So typical TCP handshake, and Wireshark is kind enough to show us the higher level protocol, VNC. It's telling us that okay, these exchanges are VNC exchange. Your keyboard, mouse, and all the other exchanges are there. Uh, so that get recognized as VNC. So I hope now VNC is a little bit clear to you, and if in this festive season you have a requirement, make sure you explore the free options before going for a paid option. Paid option is definitely peace of mind because it provides you security and other things. Depends how critical it is. If you're a business owner, definitely go with the paid option. But if you are a home user, maybe you can do very well with the free options. So do let me know if you use VNC and if you have any questions in comment section. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.